हेलो, मेरा नाम डॉक्टर प्रियंका कौर है, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, जीटीसी, गुसाईखेड़ा, उन्नाव. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This lecture is based on Harrod-Domer growth model. Harrod-Domer model is a long-term dynamic expansion of Keynesian static short-term model. It is used in a development economics to explain an economy's growth rate in terms of the saving and the capital. The model was developed independently by a British economist Roy F. Harrod in 1939 and later by a US economist Yves Domer in 1946. Harrod-Domer model was a precursor to the exogenous growth model. Explanation. This model is based on the capital as a crucial factor of economic growth. It concentrates on the possibility of steady growth through adjustment of supply of demand for capital. Harrod-Domer both emphasizes the dual role of capital accumulation. New investment generates income through multiple effect. It increases productive capacity through productivity effect of the economy by expanding its capital stock. Assumptions. The main assumptions of Harrod-Domer models are as follows. A full employment level of income already exists. There is no government interference in the functioning of the economy. The model is based on the assumption of a closed economy. In other words, government restriction on trade and the complications causes by international trade are ruled out. There are no lags in adjustment of variable, that is the economic variable such as saving, investment, income, expenditure adjust themselves completely within a same period of time. The average propensity to save and marginal propensity to save are equal to each other. That is APS is equal to MPS or S upon Y is equal to DS upon DY. Both the propensity to save and capital coefficient, that is capital output ratio, are given constant. This amount of assuming that this amounts to assuming that the law of constant return appear in the economy because of fixity of the capital output ratio. Harrod growth model raised three issues. How can steady growth be achieved for an economy with a fixed capital output ratio, capital coefficient, and a fixed saving income ratio? How can the steady growth rate be maintained? Or what are the conditions of maintaining the steady uninterrupted growth? Third, how do the natural factor put a ceiling on the growth rate of the economy? In order to discuss these issues, Harrod had adopted three different concepts of growth rate. That is the actual growth rate G, which refers to G, the warranted growth rate that refers to GW, and natural growth rate refers to GN. Actual growth rate. The actual growth rate is the growth rate determined by the actual rate of saving and investment in the country. In other words, it can be defined as the ratio of change in income to the total income in the given period. If actual growth rate is denoted by G, then G is equal to delta Y upon Y. The actual growth rate is G is determined by saving income ratio and capital output ratio. Both the factors have been taken as fixed in the given period of time. The relationship between the actual growth rate and its determinants was expressed as GC is equal to S. That is the equation number 1, where G is actual rate of growth, C represents the capital output ratio, delta K upon delta Y, and refers to the saving income ratio, delta S upon delta Y. This relation states the simple truism that saving and investment in the exposed sense are equal in equilibrium. This is clear from the following derivation. Since G is equal to delta Y upon Y and C is equal to delta K upon delta Y, that is delta K is change in capital ratio in capital stock, which refers to I or investment. So we can say delta K is equal to delta I, then डेल्टा के की जगह डेल्टा आई रखने पर c इज इक्वल टू हो जाएगा आई अपॉन डेल्टा वाई, बिकॉज सब्सटीट्यूशन बिकॉज s इज इक्वल टू s अपॉन वाई. Substituting the value of g, c and s in the equation 1, we got delta y upon y is multiplied by I upon delta y is equal to s upon y. Yeah, I upon y is equal to s upon y, where y is equal to y and y are cancelled, then I is equal to s. Warranted growth rate. Warranted growth rate refers to that growth rate of the economy when it is working at full capacity. It is also known as full capacity growth rate. This growth rate denotes by GW is interpreted as the rate of income growth required for full utilization of a growing stock of capital, so that entrepreneurs would be satisfied with the amount of investment actual made. Warranted growth rate GW is determined by capital output ratio and saving income ratio. The relationship between the warranted growth rate and its determinants can be expressed as GW into CR is equal to S, where CR shows the needed capital to maintain the warranted growth rate and S is the saving income ratio. The warranted growth refers to that growth rate of the economy when it is working full capacity. Sorry. Let us now discuss the issue how to achieve steady growth. According to Harrod, the economy can achieve steady growth rate G is equal to GW when C is equal to CR. This condition states firstly that actual growth rate must be equal to the warranted growth rate. Secondly, the capital output ratio needed to achieve G must be equal to the required capital output ratio in order to maintain GW. Given the saving coefficient S, this amounts to saving that actual investment must be equal to the expected investment at the given saving rate. Instability of growth. The steady state growth of the economy requires an equality between G and GW on the one hand and C and CR on the other. In a free enterprise economy, these equilibrium conditions would be satisfied only rarely, if at all. Therefore, Harrod analyzed the situation when these conditions are not satisfied. If G is greater than GW, then C is less than CR, and if G is less than GW, then C is greater than CR. In a first situation, the growth rate of income being greater than the growth rate of output, the demand for output because of higher level of income would exceed the supply of output because of the lower level of output, and the economy would experience inflation. In the second situation, there would be excessive good for sale, but the income would not be sufficient to purchase those goods. In Keynesian terminology, there would be deficiency of demand, and consequently, the economy would face the problem of deflation. Natural growth rate. The natural growth rate is determined by natural conditions such as labor force, natural resource, capital equipment, technical knowledge, etc. These factors plays a limit beyond which expansion of output is not feasible. This limit is called full employment ceiling. This upper limit may change as the production factor grow or as a technological progress taken place. Thus, the natural growth rate is the maximum growth rate which an economy can achieve with its available natural resources. The third fundamental relation in Harrod model showing the determinant of a natural growth rate is G and CR is either or either equal or not equal to S. Interaction of GW and GN. In case of GN happens to be equal to GW, the condition of steady growth with full employment would be satisfied, but such a possibility is remote because the variety of hindrances are likely to intervene and make the balance among the factor difficult. As such, there is a definite possibility of inequality between Gn and Gw. If Gn exceeds Gw, G would also exceed Gw for most of the time, as is shown in figure below. And there would be a tendency in the economy for a cumulative boom and full employment. When Gn is greater than Gw, Gn is greater than Gw, तो जो trend of G is going towards Gn. If on the other hand Gw exceeds Gn, G must be below Gn for most of time, and there would be a tendency for cumulative recession resulting in unemployment. See figure. Here Gw is greater than Gn, then the tendency of G is lower, going forward from G. So that's all for now. Today, we in a next video we will discuss the Domer model. Thank you so much.